A silhouette descends from the sky, faster than any jet, gentler than a raindrop. In seconds he stops a runaway truck, holds back a tidal wave, lifts entire buildings. No court, no law can touch him. But right after the awe fades, a question claws at your mind. Who decides what he defends and when? Today we're stepping into the shadow of a myth. Is Superman a savior or a hidden tyrant, a shining messiah or something darker? We'll peel back the layers, ancient symbols, moral philosophy, spiritual interpretation, and close with a bold new take from James Gunn. But first, let's follow the light and the cracks in that light. Chapter 1: Symbolism, Sun God and Occult Echoes. Superman isn't powered by kryptonite or alien tech. His fuel comes from our sun. Solar energy, nuclear fire, has been worshipped as divine power for millennia. Think Apollo, think Ra. In myth, the sun is more than heat, it's authority. In one analysis, Superman is literally a modern sun god, wielding naked power beyond human reach. But we don't stop at sunbeams. There's the S-shield, the most iconic crest in pop culture. Some see hidden occult geometry in its angles, an embedded pentagram if you trace just 5 key points. Does that signal deep occult roots, or just clever graphic design? Then there's the serpent. In Smallville, glimpses of mandala serpent imagery flicker in the background. Eden echoes designed to unsettle. Sun worship, occult sigils, snake symbolism. It's potent. Together they ask, is Superman inspired by divine light, or feeding the appetite of that light? These visuals aren't filler. They set the tone for something much larger, deeper. But symbols alone aren't enough. True power is revealed in choice. So next we climb higher. Philosophy. Chapter 2: Philosophy. The Übermensch and moral authority. Imagine a person who stands beyond law, beyond morality, beyond judgment. German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche called him the Übermensch, a supremely guided human who defines his own morality. Not evil, but instead above good and evil. He decides who lives, who dies, who's worthy. He crosses borders at will. He's unbound, not by law, by creed, by authority. And yes, some celebrate it. The Church of Satan, in its essay, I, Superman, cheers. A self-made god, a rebel, a being that refuses the bow. Sounds heroic until it doesn't. Because when you're free to decide entirely on your own, without accountability, even restraint can feel arbitrary. And if he can do anything, must he follow human morality? A Reddit user sums it up best. Self-proclaimed authority over the whole world with zero accountability. Now you've seen symbols, you've heard philosophy, but there's more. Because when a myth touches our spirits, it touches our souls. That's where beliefs collide. Chapter 3. Spiritual Interpretations. Savior, Sovereign, or Alarm. Superman stands at a spiritual crossroads. Different viewers see different deities. Some see Christ. In Man of Steel, Clark dies in a cruciform pose, surrounded by flowers and rebirth. A Catholic priest notes his journey, sent from above, sacrificed, resurrected, is straight out of the gospel. He acts with agape love, compassion laid down for others. But not everyone is convinced. Jesuit thinker Thomas Rees warns, this Superman replaces love with force, calling him an Antichrist. Use violence first, not Christ-like but authoritarian. Others see the self-made king. The Church of Satan praises that he bows to no one. We refuse to bow, seen as gods to them. That's not what the S stands for. He's idolized, not by crowds but by himself. And then there's a heavier whisper. Is he a false god? Some call him anti-Christian simply because he reigns from above, worshipped without answerability. So the same sun, same miracles, same posture can mean light of the world, self-worship under that light, or a counterfeit light warning us we're following a show. Symbols don't speak alone, intent does, so we're left with a choice. What God do we see? Next, we layer on a new worldview, James Gunn's 2025 Superman. Does he steer this myth back to kindness, or does he deepen the paradox? Chapter 4. James Gunn, Immigrant, Kindness, Catalyst. We've seen the layers, symbols of worship and power, philosophy of autonomy, spiritual paradox. Now, enter James Gunn, co-CEO of DC Studios, director of the July 11th Superman reboot. Gunn reframes the myth through the lens of immigration and kindness. He called Superman the story of America, an immigrant who brings basic human kindness, something he says society has lost. And when critics branded it woke, Gunn replied bluntly, "Screw them." In Gunn's version, Superman is powerful, but answers to humanity, not a nation. He questions authority rather than obeying it. He's not using his strength to dominate. He's asking, do we choose kindness even when we don't have to? And that choice, free kindness, is the heart of it. So tell me, do you want a hero you follow, or power you trust not to follow? Gunn's Superman refuses blind worship. He gives us a choice, power without rule, kindness without agenda, hope without demand. That's different from God or devil. He's still the strongest being on earth. He still stands above law, but he chooses not to dominate. In his hands, Superman becomes our mirror, part savior, part sovereign, part cautionary tale, tempered by compassion. Now it's your choice. Is Superman the beacon we need, or the warning we can't ignore?